A splendid evening it is to viewers. Welcome to Equity News on Equity Access, your cross-section of the stock markets and of developments in the Zimbabwean economy. Thank you for joining us as we broadcast live from our Hampton studios in Harare. I'm Ibn Mabunda. Let's get to business. Parliamentary Committee on Budget and Finance convened with Treasury as well as Central Bank being quizzed on the details of the recent statutory instrument 142 which reintroduced the Zimbabwean dollar. Finance Minister Professor Mthuli Ncube said government had put in place measures that ensure currency stability. Well, let's have a look as the minister expounds on this subject. Let's have a look.
Is our economy strong enough to sustain the use of the US dollar, which is a very strong currency? A strong currency on a weak economy. Is that sustainable? And we made a determination that it is not sustainable to use a strong currency like a US dollar on a weak economy. That's not sustainable. What's sustainable is to use a currency that moves around, is weaker than the US dollar, that will improve competitiveness and all those other issues that go with a weaker currency. Absolutely. So why would it not be stable if we run policies properly? You know, people say, we introduced the ZIP dollar, we got rid of it, it's not a good currency, we introduced. You know what? The issue is not the currency, the issue is policies. That is the issue. It is the policies that, in a sense, govern the direction of the currency. So if we have the right policies, which we do right now, in terms of fiscal, monetary, current account management, where those policies will support a stable currency, which it does not mean that we have to adopt the US dollar as a default. Actually, you know what? Adopting the US dollar was capitulation. We're actually not ready. We're not ready to be disciplined in terms of policy. We're giving up. We're just capitulating. Let whoever runs the Federal Reserves become the governor of Central Bank, which I had no job. Was not the governor. Whoever was running the Federal Reserve is the governor. I'm dramatizing that a little bit. So you're capitulating, and we don't want to capitulate. We want to be in control of our policies and learn and do the right thing. Every other country does that. Mozambique has its currency. Botswana has its currency. Zambia has its own currency. Rwanda, we can't have our own currency. We can't run our affairs properly. What's wrong with us? What is wrong? Surely there's nothing wrong with us. We've educated people, we know what we're doing. We will do the right thing. We will protect the currency through the right policies. It's about the right policies. Then on the issue of
Parliament also took on the minister on his earlier stated promise that he would make Zimbabwe join the Rand monetary area. Let's listen to his response.
During the Rand monetary area, this is an oft-beaten subject, I must say. That, you know, the last time Zimbabwe tried to join the Rand monetary area, it was just as onerous as trying to join the euro, which you had to achieve fiscal convergence, current account convergence, all manner of things and targets that we had to achieve before we could join the Rand monetary area. And that would take 3-4 years, who knows. But also, you had to have your own domestic currency in the first place before you could join the Rand monetary area. So all those conditions, we could not meet them in the past. That's why we had not decided to move in that direction. But think about this, you know, literally 70-80% of our trade is with South Africa. So you can be sure that as our exchange rate bounces around, moves around on a daily basis, it's going to be responding to that kind of phenomenon, which is the strong trade with South Africa. Maybe in the background, as the currency moves, it will then link with the currency for that country. But that's up to the market. It's up to the market. What I'm saying, that's a fundamental that's out there, and it may just respond.
RBZ Chief Dr. John Mangunjika also explained the need for the upward revision of interest rates from 15% to 50% as was issued in the statutory instrument 142. His reasons, he said, were meant to tackle the runaway inflation that Zimbabwe is currently grappling with. Let's have a look.
That we need to squeeze the market in a short space of time, so let's make sure that the prices in the system when they go down. You have spoken about about the price being high. Inflation is a monetary phenomenon. Inflation is caused by increased money supply. So what are the instruments of money supply? Is this interest mopping up? So once you squeeze this market, the next few months, remove the excess money, the price will go down. And that's why I say that we need to have a disciplined people, principled society. So yes, in the short term, it might be a problem, but that's not a long term. We are saying we need to squeeze it, remove the money in the market, then once there's distance, then life goes on. I was writing in German that you can't run a country on the basis of indiscipline.
Now, last week, Energy and Power Development Minister Advocate Fortune Chasa made a promise that Zimbabwe had paid a debt owed to ESCOM in South Africa to the tune of $10 million. On Friday of the same, ESCOM issued a statement they had not received any payment whatsoever. Now, this was one of the issues asked by parliamentarians, and the Permanent Secretary, the Minister of Finance, George Guamatanga, gave a response where that is concerned. Let's have a look.
So look, I think when a payment is made, there's a process in the government, and there's a point where a budget is released and is authorized, a payment has been done. Then there's other follow-up processes which might include the telegraphic transfer being done, the transfers of the local currency being done. But from a process perspective, when a budget has been released, from the minister's perspective, a payment is done, and it would have been done. So the other ensuing process is just a process, which then gets you to the final proof of payment to say, okay, here is the proof of payment. And that process would ordinarily take
released financials for the full year ended 28 February 2019. According to the results, revenue grew 37% to $1.1 billion. Profit after tax decreased 20% to $106 million against $132 million reported in the previous comparative period, the previous reporting season. This was due to exchange rate losses as well as the unbundling of CASSAVA Smart Tech, which houses ECONET, EcoCash, as well as Stewart Bank. Now, just to get into the financials, to look at the historical performance of the ECONET Corporation, would realize that we have an interesting stats that we actually have there. Okay, we'll move on to the other company that also released in the same bracket, which is CASSAVA Smart Tech, which released results for the first time, reporting revenue of $173 million. Profit after tax stood at $9.3 million for the period ended 28 February 2019. Now, this would be the pro forma financials for CASSAVA. They posted revenue of $258 million for the full year of 2018. Then 2019 full year revenue of $501 million. Now, profit after tax moving from $71 million right up until $104 million. Beyond our borders, a very sad note. Chief Executive of SAFARICOM, the inventors of mobile money M-Pesa, who is Bob Collymore, has passed on. He succumbed to cancer and passed on early this morning. This concludes our evening news bulletin. Up next is a look at the news review. Don't go anywhere.